This is episode 1 of Shop Talks, where we're going to cover my.cat.com. Today, my name is Richard Fortin. I'm an instructor for Carter University, and we've got joined on the line with us Afton Balzer. She works with our digital services team, and this is kind of her wheelhouse as far as this product is concerned. So she knows more about it than anyone. So the agenda for today, like I mentioned, Afton Balzer is going to go through my.cat.com. The main 4 topics that she's going to discuss with my.cat.com is how to register for my.cat.com, and in the chat function, you're going to see there's a chat function down below if you're using a computer. If you're on a tablet or a phone, it may be in a different area, but there's a chat function. And just as soon as I finish up with this segment and we switch over to Afton, I'm going to post a link to just a quick start guide, if you will, to my.cat.com. So you can go follow that link and you can download that document and review it later. If you currently don't have a login for my.cat.com, it'll walk you through that process. Afton's going to walk you through the process as well. We just want to make it as easy as possible. We're going to discuss the landing page, the page that opens up when you sign into my.cat.com. We'll go through the different asset views and the different things that we can see within an asset in my.cat.com. And then finally, we'll finish up with requesting service and buying parts. We won't go through the complete details of how to buy parts from parts.cat.com. But that's something that we're going to cover at a later date. I'll show you a list of the upcoming Shop Talk sessions. So at the end of this, while we're taking the poll, you'll see a screen pop up. It'll tell you about the next sessions that we have coming up for basically the entire month of April. We haven't posted May yet, and they're available through all the same channels that you found this one. So there'll be an email going out. There'll be the social media going out, and of course on the Carter Machinery website. So we're really excited to present this information to you, and with that, I'll toss it over to Afton.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. As Richard mentioned, my name is Afton Balzer. I am with the digital services team here at Carter Machinery. And today we'll be walking through my.cat.com, also known as MCC. You might hear me refer to it as that as we go through the presentation. The first things first is how to register. So how do I get to my.cat.com? MCC is a web-based platform where you can access all of your fleet's information and at one safe source. And any information that's pulling off the telematics device that is installed on your machine will show in this platform. The way to get there is you're going to open your internet browser. This works in any internet browser. Usually we suggest using Chrome. It just seems to perform very well in that platform. But you can also access it from your smartphone through the internet browser. Once you have the browser open, you're going to come up here and navigate to the address bar. You just type in my.cat.com. No need to put a www before it. It's just my.cat.com. Once that populates, you will see this main overview screen here to log in. If you do not currently have a CWS ID and password through Carter Machinery or through Caterpillar in general, you can go ahead and create one here. So you can do that by selecting this button here, the sign up button, or you can use this hyperlink down below the registration box. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Once this loads, it's going to take you and redirect you to a 4-step process for registering your username and password. It's going to ask you a series of questions, some personal information, your name, your company information. It's also going to prompt you to enter your company ID or your customer number. If you do not have this handy, don't fret. You can just put in your company name where it prompts you, and then I can look on the back end and connect you to your information. So no need to fear on that one. The last part that you will walk through is going to be the end user agreement, where you will agree to terms and conditions for data privacy and my.cat.com, and you will accept. Once you've done this, it's going to actually redirect you back into my.cat.com. So because you created that login, it's going to take you to kind of like a template page once you logged in. It takes about 1 to 2 days. We generally are pretty quick at getting you hooked up to your information here on the back end. So you'll be able to see all of your fleet's information within a day of registering. I just wanted everyone to keep that in mind. So if you log in and don't see anything, that's why. It's not an instantaneous thing. And as Richard mentioned here in the chat, bring this up here, this is the PDF that you will see for my.cat.com. It's just going to give you some general overview, some benefits of the platform, and then also what I just mentioned with this 4-step process of how to register. So you can download that and keep it for future reference. I'm going to navigate back here to the main page. I'm going to sign in using our demo account so I can show you everything there is about my.cat.com here. So once you sign in, while this is loading, it's going to bring you to an overview screen. Let's see, it keeps asking me to save password. So once you log in here, you'll see different widgets. This information here is just going to give you an overview summary of your total fleet. We'll get into individual machine configurations and individual machine information a little bit later in the session. But for right now, this is just an overview of your total fleet, total roll-up here. So while this is loading, we'll go over the health information. Health is just going to show you inspection information, fault codes, and SOS, the fluid analysis samples information. So if your machine is capable and the box is reporting the information from the machine, it's going to bring in all of this information for you. You have your task box here. You can create tasks, you can add them to this box, kind of like a to-do list for yourself as you're tracking through and looking at maintenance or any services you'd like to have scheduled or repairs, kind of just an updated to-do list. You don't have to track this. This is just an option for you here. If you do add a task, keep in mind that's just for your personal account. It's tied to your unique username and password. So somebody else in your company will not see the to-do list on here. Moving on to the subscription information, we have multiple different platforms here in the digital services realm at Carter. We have the Vision Lake platform. We've got some power systems division platforms. So if you have fleet that is kind of a mixed fleet, or if you have other subscriptions, they're going to show here. But this just gives you kind of an overview, bird's eye view, if you will, of where your fleet is located and where you can find the information. The operations section, this is going to show you some service history, all tying back to the serial number of the machine. So you can see any work orders that were done on that machine, service dates that they were performed, and also some financial information if it's tied to there, of course, unless it's going to warranty. Keep in mind, please, I know that some people give me a look when I say, yes, there's financial information in here. We can customize that. So if you would like to give access to anyone else in your company to see this information, they don't have to have access to the financial information. We know that some folks like to keep it kind of close to the chest. So just putting that information out there for you. We also have the agreement section. So if you have any customer value agreement, or if you're set up and we're performing your preventative maintenance or anything like that, then it will be listed down below here as well. So the way to actually view this fleet is you come up here to the this navigation bar and go to Assets, and you're going to click on List. This is going to bring kind of a running list or a table of your fleet. It's going to show each individual machine along with a picture if available. Most of the time, the CAT products do populate there with a picture of whatever machine is there. Anything else that we can pull in is just going to show kind of a blank screen. Of course, this is being so slow for me right now. But you can navigate to individual assets. from this screen. So there is a couple of different views that we can show you here. This, as I mentioned, it's a table view, so it's just a running total. Of course, it's demo account here, but you can have your machines laid out in a grid view, which is going to give you kind of a widget view like the dashboard on the first page that you saw. Like I said, the picture is going to populate here. It's going to show machine hours, the last time it updated, and also the machine location. You can actually schedule service and buy parts, which we'll go into kind of in depth here in a couple minutes. This is just another view that you can customize yourself. And we also have a map view. So this is going to populate all of your equipment on a map. I'm not going to try to zoom in too close. As you can see on this account, we've got a lot. But if you were to zoom in, this is powered by Google Maps. So it is the most up-to-date possible. And you can actually zoom all the way down and change it to a satellite view where you can see details in the landscape around it. This is particularly helpful in machine security, I guess, situations. There have been a few. I'm going to switch back over here to the table view. It's always going to default to the table view, but as you go through, you can obviously customize however you'd like to see it. One thing I'd like to note is that there's an add asset or remove asset function for the customer. So us on the dealer side, we actually do not have access to this function. So it's something that's exclusive to you guys. You can go in and add assets to your fleet or remove them as you have machines coming in and out of your population. Most of the time, we're going to stay up to date on that, so it should be the most current information. But if not, you can add and remove assets. You can also manage groups. Say again? I was
just gonna add even non-Caterpillar machines. So you can see in there's some SkyTrack stuff. There's a Husqvarna tool in there.
Yeah.
You can add non-Cat stuff to this. It may not be a connected asset. Maybe there's no connection between the machine and this website, but you can still add it in there for some of the other functions of the site.
Yes, correct. Even if a machine is not connected, so long as your fleet is populated and you are tied to your account on the back end, you will see your equipment in my.cat.com. Kind of neat. Thank you, Richard. So also you can manage groups from here. If we were to go into this, it's not configured for this demo, but if you were to go in here, you can actually set up, let's say you're running a couple different job sites with different machines on the site. You can separate them by job sites. You can separate them pretty much however you'd like, and you can put machines in different groups and then use that for notifications down the road. So another thing I'd like to show you guys is the global search function. So let's say I want to look specifically at an asset and maybe you have a very large fleet and you don't want to click right into this. You can actually access this from this page or the main page. Any page you navigate to, this is going to be here. But you go ahead and click into assets and type the serial number of the machine. It's going to populate anything else with that prefix. And you can click on that machine. It's going to bring up an in-depth view of that particular machine. So as I mentioned earlier, you're going to have your nice picture here, a serial number, the make and the model of the machine, the last service meter reading from the last time it updated, which was today. The location here, if we were to click on this, it would actually bring up a map view. Same thing, you can zoom in, change it to satellite view and see that. It's going to tell you your next services that are up to date, which is manually configured here in the maintenance section, which I'll show you that here soon. This is just telling me that there's a monitor on an SOS fluid sample for this machine. If it was an action required, it would be red. If it was an FYI, just like this fault code here, it's showing in blue. It will actually say FYI. Very nice. Also, this machine is pulling fuel information. So we're going to see that this machine is currently 91% fuel level. The connection here, kind of like we were referring to earlier, if this machine was not connected, it would be kind of grayed out box right here. But we see that it's green, so it's good to go. It's connected, and it's giving you the subscription type and the telematics device. So this is kind of a good box on this machine. So if you scroll down here, we're still in the same asset. We're looking at this overall dashboard, kind of like we did on the first page, but specific to this one machine. You can actually customize the date range on this. So if you wanted to see the last 7 days, we could look at that. You can customize it up to 2 years prior. So it's kind of flexible with that. It's going to default to the last 3 months here. So it's showing any maintenance, any overdue PMs, and then utilization. So what this is telling me is that over the course of the past 3 months, this machine has run 228.7 hours for a total runtime, and then it has burned 663 gallons of fuel, which is actually up from the earlier session. This SOS widget here, again, is just telling you that there's some monitor on a radiator fluid sample. Also, for more information on this, the SOS portion of this, if we were to click into this, it would take us to SOS Web. We actually have another ShopTalk specifically geared for education on the SOS Web portal, and that's going to be on April 29th. So just kind of a shameless plug there for that ShopTalk. Also, you have your location history, same thing, this map view, just giving you your service meter readings as they report in, along with the location. Fault codes are going to be listed in this widget view here. If any inspections have been done on this machine in the past 3 months, it will populate here. Keep in mind that it has to be done through our complimentary Cat Inspect app, which will also be a future ShopTalk discussion. It's tied to the specific serial number, so anytime an inspection is done for that machine, it will populate there in that box. Service history, if there was anything done in the past 3 months, will show there. And then down here, you also have your task, which I referred to earlier for the specific machine. And then warranty information, customer value agreements, and then also your safety service letter information. All of that will populate. To take a look into the health and maintenance portion of the machine, you're going to come here to the side and click on health and maintenance. Kind of the same thing, but kind of a, I guess, a step down, drill down of the information. This is last 30 days. I'm going to go ahead and expand this to last year. Again, SOS sampling here. Any heads up here, kind of action required. Inspection. So as I just mentioned, the inspections here performed in Cat Inspect will show. You can actually click into this if you wanted to view the inspection that has been done, and it's going to download a PDF at the bottom of my screen. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And this is what the inspection will look like. There's going to be pictures, greens, so this is a good inspection that was done. Didn't have any yellows or reds, so no action was needed. But it gives you all the information that you need to see there. Fault codes, kind of same thing. It's going to give you a running list. So moving on to the maintenance portion. This is something that is manually configured by you, so by the customer. You can come in. I can't show the functionality because of the demo account that I have here, but you will be able on your end to edit the tracking in here and set up your PM services. If you'd like to add additional services in, you can do that as well. So it's pretty much customizable for what you'd like to see. When a PM has been completed, you can come over here to Actions and complete the service. You can edit the maintenance settings on it, which is just going to, you can add in the services like I mentioned, or take some out. You can also, with the schedule service function, you can do it straight from here if you're looking for the maintenance, and it's going to populate the information here. So if you wanted to schedule that the PM too, then you could do it straight from here. But one great tool that we have in each individual asset here is the schedule service button. So if you are to click on schedule service, not specifically for just maintenance, you can, if you need any type of service done, you can request that through here. You can put in your date, your time, how you'd like to be contacted, all your personal information here. And as soon as you hit submit, we will receive that information, and somebody from your local, the store closest to you, your servicing store, will contact you about getting this service scheduled. Another thing that's very important, especially nowadays in these unprecedented times that we're navigating, and also looking towards the future, a great tool is the buy parts function. So instead of having to come into your local parts counter, you can order parts online. So you'll just click on the buy parts link here. It's going to redirect you, as kind of Richard was mentioning the agenda earlier, it's going to redirect you to parts.cat.com. Now, because you navigated straight from my.cat.com in that specific machine, it is going to auto-populate all the information for that machine. So you don't even have to remember a serial number. But coming into parts.cat.com, you can look at parts ordering kits, or your PM kits. You've got any sort of parts needs, you can get straight through here. You can choose your pickup, delivery, or pickup in store. But we will go more in depth on parts.cat.com in next week's ShopTalk session. But just wanted to let you know that that functionality is built into my.cat.com. Very helpful right there. The last thing I'd like to touch on just for this individual asset is the utilization tab, which you were seeing earlier. It's going to default to this line graph. You can also see it in a bar chart. This is just telling you the total runtime for this machine. You can also break it down, which is great, into working and idle hours. So for instance, on March 4th, this machine worked for 6.9 hours, and it idled for 2.1. So you can see it, whatever date range you select, which is right here. If you'd like to download this information, you can. You can download it to a PDF or an XLS, so you can save it to your desktop and share it with anybody in your company or keep it for future reference. This machine is also showing fuel, same thing. You can look at your working and idle time or idle fuel burns and just hover over it for a breakdown. Also down here, it's going to give you each time it reported and what that burn rate was. So pretty cool information. So that about sums it up. There's a lot of information, I know, here in my.cat.com, but please, create an account, go in, look at your information. You can't break it, so you can go in and kind of start playing around and see how you like it. If you ever need help, please just reach out to us, and we're happy to help you navigate anything you need. With that being said, if there's any questions, you guys just let me know, and Richard, I'll hand it back over to you.
All right, sounds good. Does anybody have any questions from Afton or myself on my.cat.com? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and show you what's coming up. The upcoming Shop Talks, we have a Shop Talk on April the 8th on parts.cat.com. The week after that, there's some preventive maintenance tips and contamination control that we're going to go through. And then the third week of April there, or excuse me, the fourth week of April there's machine connectivity. So we're going to talk about a few different topics in the machine connectivity world. It's an exciting new world, so hope you'll join us for that. And then also the last week of April, April 29th, and these are all on Wednesdays. We're going to discuss scheduled oil sampling and using our SOS web feature. So it's a pretty cool thing. So if you get time, if you have open Wednesday, we usually have four sessions along the way that give you an opportunity to join us for a call. We really appreciate you coming in and telling us what you like or what you don't like, or maybe answering some of your questions. And the one specifically on SOS, if you have that question about that, there'll be plenty of opportunity to talk with the folks who run and work with oil samples all the time to ask them questions. So might be a very good thing. But all right. Well, if you do have questions, like Afton said, just reach out to Carter. Anybody at any location should be able to direct you to the right person. So we appreciate your time, and other than that, have a great day.